Hi friends, welcome to ABC Learning English Solution. Today on this podcast, we are going to discuss about the usage of between and among. My dear friends, these are very simple, but sometimes these two are really very confusing. That's why we have to know the proper usage of these two terms between and among. Now, first of all, think about the part of speech of these two words. These are basically preposition. These are basically preposition. And we all know, my dear friends, the prepositions are placed before the nouns or pronouns. Noun or pronouns. Prepositions are placed before the nouns or pronouns and they relate with the other words. So they make relations with the other words in the sentence. But these other words, these are not so important right now. We have to think about this portion only. That means noun or pronoun, this portion. And before that, we have to place between or among. Between or among. Now, my dear friends, we all know if the nouns are two, we use between, and if these nouns are more than two, that means 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it may be, we use among. It is the very basic or common rule for using between and among. There is no such problem in this rule, but the fact is that we cannot say that the rule is 100% correct. I'm just gonna give you some example. Now friends, I've written here two examples. Distribute the pains dash Ram and Sam. So here there are two nouns, Ram and Sam. Two nouns are there. So obviously we have to use between. Obviously we have to use between. There is no such problem. In the second sentence, distribute the pains. Here boys. So obviously more than two. So it will be among. Among, it should be the boys. Okay, so distribute the pains between Ram and Sam. There are two persons, that's why we have used between. In the second sentence, distribute the pains among the boys. Here, these boys means there are more than three, whatever it may be, but more than three. Or you can say more than two. It may be three, it may be four, it may be 100. That's not a matter. But more than two. In this situation, we use between and among in such a way. But the fact is that, my dear friend, we should use between whenever these nouns or these pronouns are individuals. Actually, the rule is that we use between whenever these nouns or pronouns, these are individual or separate. Or you can say it's not a group. I'm just giving you an example. I'm just changing this group of nouns a little bit. So Ram, then comma, then Sam and Julu. So my dear friends, you can see here there are three persons. Ram number 1, Sam number 2 and Jodu number 3. So there are more than two. So as per the rule, we should use among. But here, my dear friend, we cannot use among. We have to write down between. The rule is that whenever these nouns are individual, This is also an individual person. This is also an individual person. This not the factor whether there are more than 3 or 4 persons. This is not the factor. The main fact is that if these nouns are individuals, or you can see if the nouns are single, or if the nouns are clear to you, at that time we have to use between. No need to think about how many persons are there, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not so important. The important thing is that if these nouns are clear, or if these nouns are individual, or if these nouns are single, at that time we have to use between, and rest of the places we have to use among. Here in this sentence, these three persons are there, and these are individuals, or these are clear to you. You can clearly identify these 3 persons. That's why we have to use between. And here in this sentence, distribute the pains among the boys. That means it's a group. It's a group. So my dear friends, the important thing is that if these are individual, these nouns are individuals, at that time we'll use between. And if the nouns is a group, or maybe more than one groups, at that time we have to use among. Now friends, let's look at the other example. Now friends, let's look at these examples. We have to place between or among. In the first sentence, I have written a meeting is going on. After that, there is the blank space. We have to use between or among in this blank space. And after that, we have written Saurabh, Virat, Sachin and Dhoni. We all know these persons. These are the important cricketers in our country. So, the meeting is going on. That means a meeting is going on at a particular time, and the members of this meeting, there are 4 persons. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 persons are there. And here you can see these 4 persons are individual. This is 1 person, another person, 3rd person, and this is the 4th person. So here in this situation, we have to use between. So you can see, my dear friends, these are the groups. Players, it's a group. There are some players. Coach, that is an individual person. And here the board members. So here we are thinking about the groups, and if these nouns are groups, at that time we have to use among. So the fact is that, my dear friends, if the nouns are groups, at that time we have to use among. If the nouns are individual or single, at that time we have to use between. This is the actual rule. So my dear friends, I think it's clear to you. It's clear where to use between and where to use among. I think this video will be very helpful for you. So thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much.